Hello, 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 everybody. Look, I'm a couple seconds early today. Come on in. Let's get ready for Mindset Monday. It's Monday. I got some good stuff for you today. Some stuff that's on my heart. No, I'm not pre recorded today like I was last week. I am live and in person. So, as usual, I'm giving people a few moments to come on in the room. So, as you come on in, make sure you say hello to me, share the video, all that good jazz. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come on in, come on in. We're going to get started here really shortly. I'm excited. Excited for what we have to talk about today. It's been near and dear to my heart, so I can't wait to talk to you guys. So as you come on in the room, make sure you say hello to me because I may not be able to see you once you pop in. But if you speak and wave to me, I'll know that you're here. Hi to everybody who's stepping in the room. Hello, hello, hello. I am 100% live today. I am not doing what I did last week, even though there was nothing wrong with it. Actually, I felt it to be good. Thanks, Mom. Hi. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Well, I'm about to say thank you, guys. It's just you, but thank you. I might try something a little new tonight too. I'm live in multiple places, guys. So you may see me looking from side to side. I am live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. I am in all the places today. All the places. So step on in, say hello. We're going to get started here in shortly. I got something good for you, something that was on my mind today. And I'm like, oh, this will be really good to share. So as you come on in, make sure you say hello. Make sure you tell people about it. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Come on in as I also get prepared on my other live streaming platforms. So bear with me a moment, guys. All right. We are live. Like I said, I'm live in multiple places today. I got everybody going today. Live in multiple places. So as I talk to you, you may see me look to the other screen. But guys, it's Mindset Monday. This is what we're here for. This is what we're about. So I'm excited. We're going to go ahead and get started really shortly. I like to give people a couple of minutes to come on in here. But how was your weekend, guys? How was your Monday? How's life? How things going? How are things going? Come on in the room. Come on in. How's your day going? How's everything going? I can't wait to go over our topic tonight. Hey, Nana. Hey, girl. Just can't wait to go over the topic tonight. Like I said, you're gonna see me looking at both cameras because I'm live on multiple platforms tonight. I am excited to bring Mindset Monday to you. If you were able to see the title of Mindset Monday, the title of this Mindset Monday is how are you doing for real? How are you doing? And the reason I wanted to ask this question, like, how are you doing for real? Good, Mom. No complaints. I want to ask how you doing for real because I have had a conversation with some people that are around me. And over the past couple of months, I can say that I have checked on a lot of the strong friends, and the strong friends have been struggling. I'm one of the strong friends, and I struggle too. So, just when life feel like it's beating up on you, and you really the strong friends, we don't talk about it, right? Nana said she's doing good. I'm happy, baby. The strong friends, we don't really reach out to people. We kind of just stay in our zone, kind of put our head down, go through it, whatever you're going through mentally. And sometimes there's not even anything wrong per se, but you kind of feel like life beating up on you a little bit. And when that happens, it's like, okay, I don't want to bug nobody. I don't want to bother nobody. So I'm just going to retreat back to, whatever it is that I'm used to doing, whether it just be work or whatever, and kind of just dive into that. But I really want to talk to the strong people today because, like I said, I even over the past, let's say, month and a half, I went through my spell of just going through it where life just felt like it was beating me up a little bit. And I'm fighting back and life fighting back too. So me and life had hands. But of course I had the support of my household and stuff like that. But it just life was life in. And then I ended up talking to a couple of people and they were like, life was life in. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not the only person going through this right now. I'm not the only person who's feeling like, this is some bull, for lack of a better word, right? So I really want to talk about just how you feeling, how you doing. I literally just came off of a weekend with an organization called Save a Girl, Save a World. And in Save a Girl, Save a World, what it is a nonprofit organization. And they have mentors who come in and they mentor high school girls and college girls. So at a HBCU. So we have girls that we're affiliated with in Clark Atlanta, Bennett College, North Carolina A&T. Like there's a lot of different colleges that we are working with. Howard University. So all of our HBCUs, we working with them. Hey, Rashana girl. All of our HBCUs, we're working with them. Well, a lot of them, not all of them. We're working with them and we have a summit every year and the girls come down here to Atlanta. We get together and we just have fellowship and sisterhood and we have different workouts, like not workout, but breakout sessions where we pour into the young ladies and teach them everything they need to know about, let's say, entrepreneurship, AI, how to get your money straight, how to get in your bag. Like we go through all of that stuff and there's professional mentors that mentor these young ladies and we kind of set the tone for the year. So I participated in that this weekend. So if you see me posting pictures or anything from that, that's what I was doing. And as I was going through that, when you're in that type of environment and you're in that type of intimate setting, you share different things and tears are flowing. It's just such a good, loving environment. And one of the things that I got from this weekend was just the reminder of how to love on your sister. Like the reminder to, if your sister needs help, you extend your hand and you help her. That's what kind of made me like kind of just tap in on my sisters today because I wanted to just tap in and say, are you okay? Like for real, like how you doing? For real. Not the regular, how you doing? Oh, good. But no, like for real. How you doing? For real. What you going through? For real. Like, girl, it's gonna be okay. Like one of those conversations today, because I just feel like it's necessary. And also it's that time of the year where the holidays are coming up, for whatever reason, people feel however they feel around the holidays. It can be a difficult time of the year for people, like it's joyous, but at the same time, it's hard for some people this time of year, especially like if you live in cold states. Let me tell y'all something. Seasonal depression is real. That's one of the reasons I had to leave too. I left Michigan and was like, peace out. I can't be doing this cold. It's gonna be cold and gloomy and raining. Oh no, I can't do that. Like that's affecting my mood. We're not here with that. But seasonal depression is real and people go through it. And especially again around these holidays, you think about people who have lost loved ones and they just going through it. So I want to come to you today. I'm not going to stay before you too long, but I really, like I said, want to tap in with my strong friends, with my strong audience, the people who, you kind of keep to yourself. But I just want to tap you on the shoulder and remind you that, hey girl, it's okay. And I see you, and you're not the only one. And even though you put on your superpower suit and you walk out there and you do what you need to do every day, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be human. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to cry. It's okay. It is okay. Hey, Michelle, everything is going good. Hey, love. I have something for you after this call. The thing that we talked about is about to start. So I need to talk to you after this call. Yeah, Rashana says it's okay to not be okay. And it really is. It's okay to not be okay. long as you don't stay in that not okay space for long. Because once you linger in that not okay space, it can have the tendency to really take you over. So you got to learn how to like really fight back. So what I'm doing today, I'm going to go and give you 3 tips on how to get over that funk and really how to just, dive in and really try to overcome this holiday season. And just stay on your grind. So my number one tip that I'm giving, and I'm giving this tip because it worked for me, and I've seen it work even in my research, is self-care. Guys, self-care is so important. And self-care, this is a new term. I'll tell you that now. Self-care is not something that we heard our parents talk about. And I'm talking about, when I say we, I'm talking about my generation and, above. We didn't hear our parents and grandparents say, oh, I'm taking a self-care day, or I need self-care. No, we didn't really hear about that. Or it wasn't necessarily called a self-care day. It was just something that we if they took a break, they took a break, but it wasn't something that was widely accepted or recognized or talked about. It was just, we put our head down, we grind, and we do what we got to do. That's what we were doing. But for real, like, we hear the term self-care, but really, what does it mean? So since I've been involved in this master's degree program for mental health counseling, it is something that they talk to us a lot about. And it's just simply because when you are seeing your different clients and you have patients and they have things going on, you got to make sure that you're okay to be able to take those different things on. So to be able to hear even just some of the things that you hear in a different therapy session, you have to make sure that you're okay. So whenever you go through any type of therapist, social work, training, anything of that nature, they are going to teach you about self-care. So what does it mean? What does it look like? So self-care, like I said, is something fairly new, but it has been really commercialized too. So you'll see commercials like, oh, self-care, go to the spa and spend money here, spend money there. But what if your self-care can't look like that? Because if you're in poverty, you can't afford to go to a spa, or you can't afford to go take a trip. So what does self-care truly look like? Self-care is when you literally can unplug and take time for yourself and do the things that make you relax, the things that give you the opportunity and space to breathe. Those are the things that you need to do. So if spending money is one of the things that stress you out, and then you try to do a self-care ritual and say, oh, I'm about to go shopping to make myself feel better. Well, when you shop and make yourself feel better, guess what? You're still tapping into the very thing that made you depressed. So now you're kind of going around and around and around in the same circle. So what does it mean for you to really engage in self-care? So you want to tap into those things that help you relax and that help take your brain off of whatever it is that you're going through. So for me, I have to unplug. So if I'm not doing anything, if I'm not going to spend money, if I'm not, and sometimes I will spend money, I will plan a trip, I will go get a hotel room, and it just be me in my robe and some food and my work, and that makes me feel great. But it may not look like that all the time. Sometimes it's putting my phone in D&D. Every night my phone goes in D&D at 10 o'clock anyway, but like putting it in do not disturb and letting no one call or get through. Sometimes that is self-care. And really the person or their family member or their friend that always calls you and they always got something going on and they're like, girl, let me tell you what happened. This drama went down. Putting that person, leaving their text message on read. That's a form of self-care. Not answering the phone, that is a form of self-care. Just powering it down completely and shutting off from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. Because what it does is it starts to really start to mess with your mind. When you continuously download all the information that's being thrown at you, you need a break. You got to unplug. And then Michelle just said prayer and meditation. Yeah. You got to be able to unplug so you can pray and meditate, right? So that was one of the things that I do as well. So once I unplug, I need that quiet time. Y'all, there is power in silence. Like for real. Like when you can get quiet and you can really start to think and hear your own thoughts, there is, oh my God, there's so much power in that. Literally just sitting and thinking. And what I like to do with meditation sometimes That's when some of my best stuff comes to me during that prayer and meditation time. If anybody knows me for real, I always have a notebook, something close to me. I literally have 3 notebooks in front of me right now. I have a whole. I'll show you. Listen, I stay prepared. Pens, pencils, everything, the whole nine. Like, I keep it by me because that's just my creative outlet. So I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, I am all of those things. So when it comes to me, I want to be able to write it down. So being able to unplug, hey Amber girl, being able to unplug and really take care of yourself and really do that. Oh my God, it feels so good, guys. So there's power in silence and just being quiet and not saying anything at all and letting those thoughts just flow. Just let them flow. And even if there are thoughts that you like, ugh, that makes me cringe, think about it. Where's this thought coming from? Where did it originate? What made me feel this way? Why am I feeling this way? Really start to get in tune with yourself. There is power in that silence. There is power in unplugging. Okay. I had Casey Wilborn Snap at the conference. She talked about something, and I'm shouting her out because she is that deal, honey. Miss Casey, she talked about getting in your bag, and what she meant by that is you got to get in your bag and you got to start to sort out. The song says, "Get in your bag, stay in your bag." You know how did he do, right? But what the song is saying is that, but you got to get in your bag and start to unpack that bag and all the things that are in that bag. So sometimes it's some stuff in that bag, like she said, that it just stinks, right? And we got to pull the stuff out the bag in order to look at it to see what it is so we can deal with whatever is in that bag. But in order for you to even pick the bag up and look at it, you got to get quiet. You got to unplug. It's hard to empty out a bag in a room full of people. It's hard to empty that out. Right. So thank you, Angela. It's hard to empty that out. So really pulling the stuff out and really taking a look at it. That's something that's sacred to you. That's something that you owe yourself. Don't empty your bag out in front of other people. Empty it out. Just like really get quiet, get by yourself, and then start to empty that stuff out. Emptying out your bag might look like this. Today was a day. Today, such and such pissed me off. Here are my thoughts on this. Was it accurate? Could I have done this differently? Do you get what I'm saying? You're really getting with yourself to figure out, what do I need to do so I can have a better day, so I can have better experiences, because this depression ain't what's up. I'm not about to sit in this. I don't want to sit in this. And honestly, I don't know a single depressed person who wants to be depressed. Literally, it's something that they're going through. Right. And sometimes it is clinical. Sometimes I think it's clinical. And this is just me speaking from being a mental health therapist in training. I think it's clinical. I think it's spiritual. I think it's a combination of both. But I also feel like when you mix the two together, you're going to have, it's a recipe for greatness. Okay. So when you mix the two together, as far as treatment is concerned, we can pray all day long. We can pray. But baby, there's power in going to see a therapist too. See, in our culture, we have been told to, what goes on in this house stays in this house. And we don't talk about this outside of these walls, but damn it. Come on, guys. We got to start talking about stuff outside of these walls, or otherwise the walls continue to close in on you. And now you're sitting up here feeling depressed, stressed, and you don't know what the hell to do, because everything is weighing on you, because we're not talking about stuff outside of this house. We got to start doing that. So when you get yourself a therapist, and I mean, get you somebody, therapy is like dating. You got to find somebody that's right for you. My other counselor and trainer, Amber, she's on this call too. The way she counsels is going to be different from the way I counsel, or you get what I'm saying? Because you're just not going to vibe with everybody, but it's very much so worth the step of going to really truly finding somebody that's for you. So you have that mixed with your prayer and meditation. Okay, let's get it. That's just like, and I hate it when I hear people say like, oh, I don't want to go to therapy. They don't know me. That's just like sitting up here getting cut and saying, I'm not going to go to the doctor. I'm just going to pray it away. Well, wait a minute. So that very doctor that you need to see, that might be a praying doctor too. If you don't go get yourself sewn up. So that's what I'm saying. So we got to continue to like really unplug, stop listening to all the BS, get by yourself, get to that part where you can really truly pray and meditate and plug in, unplug from socials, but plug into who you are. And then if you're spiritually connected, because I understand that everybody don't believe in Christ, but listen, I do. So that's where I'm coming from with y'all. Okay. So when I unplug from that, I get to unplug from here and up here. I get to unplug both ways, right? I need to do that. I have to do that. It helps with that phase that you go through when you feeling like, I ain't feeling these holidays. I don't want to go through Christmas. I don't want to go through Thanksgiving. Oh, another New Year. Oh, my birthday. You know, my mom and dad around this time. People really go through that stuff. But unplugging for real and getting in that space where you can pray and meditate, there's power in that. There's power in that. Underneath self-care, I'm not talking about you again going to spend money. I'm not talking about going to the spa. I'm not talking about going to get your nails and your hair done, even though those things may make you feel great. And if you can do it, absolutely go and do that, right? I'm not shunning that. But I'm talking to the people who really, really, really need some healing beyond the surface, beyond what you can see physically. Because of course, when we look good, we feel good, right? That's granted. So when I go get me a fresh haircut, y'all, I'm going tomorrow. When I go get me a fresh haircut, you know, when I'm on it, yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm untouchable. But even underneath all of that, you got to start feeling great inside of here. You got to start feeling great inside of here. Another form of self-care is making sure you clean up physically and mentally. Clean up physically and mentally. My mother used to tell me, and I've talked about this, right? It's temporary relief, Sharice, you're right. My mother used to talk to me about this when I was younger and I didn't understand it. Listen, I kept a junkie room as a child. I'm not even about to sit up here. And sometimes as an adult, let me not sit up here in front with you guys, okay? I know like it's cute on Instagram and TikTok for people to show that they got these nice, beautiful rooms. Let me tell y'all, I'm a mama, I'm a wife. Listen, and I have a lot of hats that I wear, and I do not have time to make that bed every day. I don't. I am being honest with you guys. I don't have time to make sure that the laundry is done every weekend. But as long as my family is fed, my son is showered and clean, my daughter is straight, my husband is good, like those. Listen, all that stuff comes first, okay? The only thing like that I can say that I do commonly is I go in and I make sure I try to cook at least 4 to 5 times a week. That's one of the things I gotta do. Oh, KA, I see you on TikTok, baby. Yes, DM me on IG. You can see the link in my profile. But yeah, so that's one of the things that I do. But for real, clean up your house physically and mentally. I was not the type of person that that kept a clean space. But what I can say that it's 1000% honestly true that my mother gave me was this: when you have a junky house, you have a junky mind. And I didn't understand that when I was younger. And I'm like, whatever. She just want me to clean. Because then I'm gonna clean up and then she's gonna give me something else to clean. But no, it's true. So usually when your house and stuff is everywhere, it's a reflection of what you have going on. So prime example, my November has been so crazy. I have had I did the Forbes conference the first week in November. I had to help prepare for the Save a Girl, Save a World conference that just passed this weekend. The next weekend, we have family photos coming up. The weekend after that is Thanksgiving. Like, I have so much stuff going on, and my personal space does reflect that right now, okay? So usually a junky house equals junky mind. When you clean up your space, it helps you think clearly. I don't know what science is behind it. I'm just telling y'all that I've experienced it, okay? So that's another piece of tip that I have for you. Clean up your space. But another thing that I want to touch on is cleaning up your space mentally. This takes me back to the therapy conversation. When you see a friend, you're like, oh, I'm okay, but you're really not okay. No, we got to clean it up. We got to clean that piece up. I'm a big component on journaling. I'm a big component on journaling. This is why I came out with a gratitude journal, because I'm huge on journaling. Whatever it is, write it down. You have to download that stuff. You have to download that stuff. So even if you're like, listen, Rashia Nicole, I feel you. I cannot afford a therapist right now. All right, I'll give you that. But I got resources for you if that's your excuse. I got some. Even if you cannot do that right now, I need you to do something is taking a pen and a paper and getting those negative thoughts up out of here. Because the longer that they fester in here, the more that they start to become real, and you start to feed them and you start to give them life. I need you to take it from here, and I need you to put them down here. So now that you can clearly see what it is that's going on inside of here, now you can make a plan on what to do with it. Now you can see, because when you take that thought from here and then you write it down and you put it here, that makes you see like, wait, is that rational? Does that make sense? It helps you really second guess and really check yourself. Because after you write it, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna be like, that might not have felt good. You know what? I probably can't rethink that situation. Oh damn, I wasn't crazy when I talked to such and such earlier. What my feelings were valid when I talked to such and such earlier. Right? Yeah, this is really how I feel about this situation, and I'm going to stand my ground on it. It is that, again, it is a sense of that unplugging and being able to get in tune with yourself. All right. So underneath the auspice of self-care, unplug and clean up physically and clean up mentally. It will help. Tip number 2, no. That's a complete sentence. Say no. A lot of us strong friends and a lot of us strong people, I swear, we be wanting to save the world, and we rarely want to tell people no. We want to be there. We want to help. If somebody say, hey, I need this from you, and you're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, let me see what I can do. And then you extend yourself and extend yourself and extend yourself and extend yourself. And then you're sitting here extending to all these different areas, and your cup is left empty. You're feeling even more depleted. Start to say no. Start to say no. And start to say no without giving an explanation as to why, because you don't owe it to anybody. You don't owe anybody a reason to say no. You don't. I'm even like that when it comes to jobs and things of that nature. You have to learn to say no, because if you keep giving and giving and giving and giving, and nobody's pouring back into you, they're going to continue to take and take and take and take and take, and you're left on E. You don't have nothing left for you. You don't have nothing left for your spouse. You don't have nothing left for your kids. You're just merely existing at that point. You got to learn how to say no. No, boom, complete sentence. It is literally a complete sentence. No explanation needed. The answer is just no. It's just simply no. And if somebody doesn't like your no, then I don't know what to tell them. That's their issue at that point, right? But you have to start to say no, because you have to preserve yourself. You have to create boundaries. You have to be able to say, you know what? I've been strong. I've been holding on, and I've been giving, and I just don't have it to give. You got to be able to recognize that. Even when you continue to pull and pull and pull and pull and pull, if you're pulling, where you going to end up pulling from? Because eventually your pull ends up, when you run dry, you pull from other places to put into somebody else. And wait, where does that make sense? Your kids suffer. Your household starts to suffer. So now, because you're completely depleted, now the energy that you need to give to somebody else, you pulling off a little Tamika. You know what I'm saying? Or a little Sarah. She needs you. She needs you, because now she's stressed out because she can see you stressed out. Oh, that's a change. Our kids see that. Our kids know that, especially our young ones. Our teenagers, our young ones, they know. A lot of people think, oh, they just, they little, they don't get it. No, they understand. They do. Because one thing kids understand, they can understand feelings, they can understand emotions, especially at the toddler stage. They got big emotions. Y'all know, I know. Big, 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 big emotions. So they can feel that. So no, it's a complete sentence. Tip number 3. I told y'all I'm not going to be for y'all long today. Tip number 3, give yourself some grace. Oh, give yourself some grace. And this is perfectionist recovered in recovery talking. Give yourself some grace. Giving myself grace was hard, because I have been a perfectionist for a very long time. People who have worked with me, close friends, they know if it's not right, I ain't putting it out. Rashana say you struggle with it. It might be a Virgo thing. If it's not perfect, I'm not presenting it. If it's not the way I envisioned it, then I ain't putting it out. If it's not perfect, I'm not giving my best self. For my first time in grad school, I got a B in a class. For the first time ever, though, I was able to say, meh, it's a B. It's not going to stop me from being a therapist. It's a B. No, I didn't get an A. I got a B. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? So like really, really, really allowing yourself grace. It's important too, just because when you think about it like this, when you allow yourself grace, you give yourself the opportunity to grow. When you make a mistake, you get the opportunity to just really, truly grow. And what better opportunity can you have in life than to really grow and excel and push farther than where you are right now? That's beautiful. Allow yourself that. Allow yourself that room to say, I'll mess that up. It might be a messed up moment, but that doesn't make it a messed up life. That doesn't make it a messed up situation. It's not the end of the day. It's just a thing. It's just something that happened. And guess what? That's okay. That's okay. Show me somebody who has never made a mistake. If you show me somebody who has never made a mistake, then I'll show you somebody who is absolutely stagnant in life and never moving forward. They're one and the same. You have to allow for yourself to make mistakes. You have to allow for yourself to have grace and grow. And I say that to my people who are in their 30s and up as well, because a lot of times we think, oh, I'm too old to be making this mistake. Oh, I did this again. I'm too old to be going through this. Who said there's an age cap on learning? Who said that? Who said there's a cap on making mistakes? Who said that? You did it, not me, not us, right? Like, there is no cap on learning. There is no cap on growing. Listen, every single day where you get up and you breathe breath into your lungs and God gives you another day, that's an opportunity for growth. And in that growth, you have to be able to trip. You're going to have to bump your head. You're going to have to, because other than that, how else did we learn? You don't. So allow yourself for grace. And then also, because I know I got Rashana on my TikTok, and that's one of my babies. But for my younger people who are, under 30, this is the time where you do make those mistakes. This is the time where you can say, you know what, dang, I messed up. You're actually young enough to really, really recover. For real, for real. For real, for real. I can think of mistakes that I made in my 20s that I'm grateful that I made at that time, and I'm not making them at 38 because, geez, right? I'm grateful that I was able to recover from the mistakes that I made in my 20s. But I will say this, and I'll give this to my younger audience as well. When you make those mistakes, or when you have a question, ask. Especially ask somebody that's trusted. My inbox and my DMs are always open. Ask. Give me the situation. I literally just had somebody on TikTok say, look, I got a situation I need to throw at you. And you just heard me tell them to DM me. My DMs are always open. You need an outside source to kind of look at it like, what's this? Ask. Because there is no harm in asking. There is no harm in doing research. Ask. Because at this point, when you're in your 20s and you're really, really, truly getting out here learning and exploring and doing things, okay, it's fun and exciting. But if you're able to get the information that somebody can give you, or a mentor, somebody can pour into you before you make that mistake, or teaching you how to recover, because a lot of times what you think was the end of the world really ain't. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's older and been there, done that, recovered from it, and then they can give you advice on what you need. They can give you what you need. You're right, Michelle, bumping your head and making mistakes, it does suck, but it's a necessary part of life. It's a necessary part of life. So here's another piece too that I learned about perfectionism. Perfectionism is the cousin of people pleasing. So when you feel that everything needs to be 100% perfect, that means, who are you trying to be perfect for? Who is it? Who are you trying to please? Who is it that you're trying to get the acceptance from? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because when you are trying to do, oh, this has to be perfect. I need this to be this. I have to really, really sit back and examine where my people pleasing came from, or where my perfectionism came from. Who was it that I was trying to please? I was the type of kid, I wanted people to like me. I very much so wanted people to like me. I didn't understand if someone didn't like me, why they didn't like me, because I didn't do anything to hurt that person. And I don't get it, because in my eyes, the world was supposed to be, just this wonderful thing. And what do you mean such and such doesn't like me? Wait, that's not fair. But it took me a minute to realize is, guess what? People really not going to like you just because they don't like themselves. So they don't even have room to like you. And then 9 times out of 10, it don't have nothing to do with you. But I'm over here breaking my neck trying to be perfect for somebody who could give two craps about me, or even themselves for that matter. Right? So this is what I'm saying, Michelle. Like, when it comes to really, really, oh, what if I bump my head? So what? Bump your head. Make the mistake. Learn the lesson. Bump your head. Make the mistake. Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. And you take that lesson. You put it in your book of lessons learned. You continue to read that book so you don't make that same mistake again. You don't have to make the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. You don't. You really don't. Learn from it the first time. All right. Forgive yourself. Allow some grace. And now let's figure out how we can move on. But when we hang on to that, oh, I can't never make a mistake. Now you're people pleasing. Who is it that you're trying to please? Who is it that you're trying to get that approval from? Who is it that really, really means that much to you where they won't even, you feel that they won't allow for you to make a mistake? And I pause because it's something you really got to think about. You really got to think about. We all have gone through our traumas. We all have gone through our drama, and things have happened to us in life, but we have to really start to face those things so we can face it head on and say, all right, what is this? No, you're not holding me back no longer. I know somebody, and this is crazy too. They refuse to eat a banana the normal way. You know how you peel a banana and you eat it? They refused to eat a banana because of an experience they had in school. This person was older, in their teens. They were eating a banana in school, and some boys looked at her as she put the banana in her mouth like, oh, look at her. First of all, they were being teenage boys, right? Teenage boys are immature. They look at stuff like that. They're very hyperly sexually overactive, and we ain't even gonna get into the whole thing about, sexualization in our kids and porn and all of that. But let's just say this. The boys were being boys. They were being teenage boys. But this affected this young lady so much that she does not eat a banana the same anymore because of this one situation that happened in school. It embarrassed her. So now when she eats the banana, she's going to break it and then she's going to put it in her mouth. Wow. So, and this happened to this person a long time ago, but something that small really stuck with her where she changed the rest of her life in the way that she does something that we do so normal because of what somebody else thought. What is it that we're holding on to? What trauma are we holding on to that affected the way that we start to do things, that affected the way that we start to live? That incident had nothing to do with because she didn't do anything wrong. She ate a banana. She was in the presence of immature people that made her feel like eating a banana was in some type of way wrong. Come on. And I don't fault her for the way that she feels. It's a trauma that she experienced, and now she has to figure out how to get past that trauma, right? Or just get past that teasing. We gotta allow ourselves some grace, guys. And honestly, allowing that grace takes us back to my very first tip that I gave, which was step 1, which was, let's look at what self-care really is. We got to unplug. We got to meditate. We got to start to write things down. We really have to start to dig in our bag and pull out the stuff that stinks and start to deal with it. You can have a shitty bag that might smell like shit, or you can have a pretty decent smelling bag, but you can figure that out, what you want to have. But in order for that bag to smell right, we got to empty it out. and start dealing with the stuff that's in it. Start dealing with the stuff that's in it. So, allowing grace to yourself is one of those things. You're deserving of grace. Like I said at the beginning, show me somebody who has never made a mistake, and I'll show you somebody who's been stagnant for a very long time. My mom says people don't like to admit their mistakes. Yeah, they don't. It's hard. And I'm glad you said that, because it is really, really hard to say, I F this up or I messed this up. That's hard. But who better to admit that with than you? You don't have to go out. This is not a confessional. You don't have to come on these lives, or you don't have to do any of that and confess it to nobody else. But you know. So you can start to deal with you. You can start to deal with those things, but you got to admit it to yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. If you're not going to be honest with nobody, you got to be honest with yourself. Allow for yourself to admit your mistakes. Allow for yourself to say, you know what? I could have done this better. And again, you don't have to share it with the world. You don't have to. And honestly, I don't even highly recommend it, because what people like to do, they don't, and I've seen this, I'm laughing because I've seen this happen time and time again. People don't like to let you grow. I have seen it where people will say, I remember when. Who you think you are now? I remember when you was. Be careful of those people. Be careful of those people. Because those people, they see your glow up. And your glow up is intimidating. So please be very careful. Be very careful when somebody likes to throw that stuff back into your face. Nobody is the same person that they were 10 years ago, not even 5 years ago. Allow people to have space to grow. And if you do have those people in your corner that keep reminding you of your mistakes, or reminding you of who you are, or who they think you are, or reminding you of, I remember when and who you used to be, you better start to do that nice thing I call separate. Elevation requires separation. I say it all the time. Elevation requires separation. Don't keep them people in your circle. You can't keep those people in your circle. Because how can you allow for yourself to grow when the people around you won't even allow you to grow? That's what, and then this goes back to what I said about let's clean house. You got to clean house. So not only the physical house that you have, the mental house, but your space and the people that you have around you. And I've talked about this before, but I'll say it again. I am not afraid to clean house. It's how I've been able to grow. It's how I've been able to really, 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 truly excel and hit the gas pedal. I had to clean house. And that's not to say that I'm beefed out with anybody, but what it is to say is I love me enough to say, see ya. You're not going where I'm going no more. See ya. Maybe if you change, you jumping on, okay, cool. But this train right here, I can't stop. I can't stop for you, baby. I got to do what I got to do. I got to move. I got to keep pushing forward. I think about relationships like that too. Before I got married, listen, I ain't hold them up. I didn't and I couldn't, because one of the things that I really, really understood, I've seen in my lifetime how can I put it? I've seen in my lifetime who not to date. I've seen in my lifetime who not to accept. And I've also seen the importance of connecting yourself to good stock and being able to push on with somebody. When you kind of trip up and make the wrong choice in a mate, that's a big one. I'll just say choose your mates wisely, especially for my single people, with young, old, whatever. Choose your mates wisely, because they can either hinder you or they can help you. A lot of what you see here, and no lie, a lot of what you see here, I'm gonna shout him out. My husband, that's my boo, y'all. That man got my back. He got my front. He got my left and my right. He got my top and my bottom. It's so important. It's so important. And I was talking to my daughter today. We were talking about like life insurance policies and stuff like that. Y'all know it's open enrollment, right? So it's life insurance policies. And we were talking about what my husband's wishes are, because we had that conversation. Like, if I go before you, if you go before me, what do we want done? Right? We talk about that. And I told her, I said, I don't know if dad was to go before me, I don't know if I ever will get married again, because it ain't a dude on this earth that can touch Roshad. That's just how I feel about mine. It ain't one that can touch him. And that ain't me bragging. That's just me saying that God put that thing together. And it has been not all peaches and cream either. But what it has been is growth and learning and loving. And we have created just something very beautiful. And I'm very thankful for it. But then I think back on when I was younger. I'm one of those people who stay in relationships for a while. And I think back on the people who I dated when I was younger. And I'm like, oh, me and him get married. Oh, me and him get married. Just laughing. Not my husband. I thought they was. But they wasn't. They really, really wasn't. I'm just so thankful, God. Oh my God, you know you be guiding. For real. I'm just so thankful, because I'm like, dang, had I really, 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 really married the first guy who I thought was gonna be my husband, y'all, I can't even tell you where we would be. We would probably, like, I can't even listen. I wouldn't be where I am today. I'll say that. I wouldn't be where I am today. So I just say that to say, like, just be careful who you link up with. If the person that you link up with, you can't brag on them. Like, I just bragged on my man. No, for real. If you really can't brag on them like that, or if they really can't help you get to the next spot, if they can't help you progress, and I mean that vice versa too. If they can't help you progress, if they weighing you down, if they stressing you out, if they one of the reasons that you broke, busted, and disgusted, you might want to rethink it. Don't be afraid to walk away from unfruitful situations. That all falls under what I just talked about. That's allowing yourself some grace. Because let me tell you, in the day of 2023, there will never be a time where I'm about to sit up here and let a whole another human stress me out, because whatever. No, I let man or woman stress me out. Y'all, I'm just not letting it happen. I've gotten to that point where it's like, man, you gotta love yourself enough to be like, nope, not we not doing this today. Because you're worth that. But you're worth that. And I think, like, who taught us that we weren't worth that? Who taught us that we had to go through drama and trauma in order to be down? Who taught us that? Because we about to unlearn that. Was it the rap songs in the 90s? I don't know. But what I do know is we're not about to go through that. No, we were not about to go through that. Real talk. Real talk. Sharice, I'm so glad that you're loving this live. And Michelle, you will find somebody like that one day. And I think there are good men out here, right? Since the conversation is turning, I said I was not about to be before y'all long, but we didn't got to talking, and y'all talking to me in the comments, so we're gonna keep it going. But I do think there are good men out there. I think there are a lot of hurt people out there too, though. Which takes us back to what the beginning of this conversation was. You got to start to learn to deal with the stuff, the trauma, the stuff that's in your bag that might stink. You got to start to deal with that. That goes to men and women. That's not just a woman thing. That's a man and a woman thing. You got to start to deal with that stuff. And until you deal with that stuff, you're going to continuously hurt people, and you're going to be hurt by people until you deal with it. So that's what I mean by that one. So yeah, I think there's good men out there, but I think there's hurt men out there too. I also think there are there's a lot of people out there hurting, and I think you got to take the time to deal with that hurt. take the time to get the trauma in the different things that you've gone through. You got to go through that healing session. You got to work on you. And there are certain people too that they feel like, I just can't be by myself. Like I can't be by myself. I always need somebody with me. And that might be some trauma that you got to work with too, because that feeling of having to always have a mate or always having to have somebody with you, we need to talk about that. Let's tap into why you feel that. Why are you afraid to be by you? Because let's just be honest. If you don't want to be by you, why somebody else want to be by you? Why somebody else want to be with you? If you don't even want to be by yourself, why somebody else want to be with you? You got to think about that. It's not always the other person. We got to hold that mirror up and be like, wait a minute. If I don't like me, how somebody else don't like me? That's why it's so important to do that self-work first. It's so important to really pour in, because when you don't do that work, you'll find yourself walking around here hating on the person that you could be learning from. And I know that's a meme that we've seen floating around, but it's just so true. You will literally end up like hating on the person that could probably be giving you your next blessing, and you don't even realize it. Like, we got to deal with the stuff. We got to deal with the stuff that stinks. We have to. Yeah, you know, just that jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. Y'all know that saying is, to get over one dude, you got to get up under another. If that ain't the most whorish line I've ever heard in my life, I'm just being real. If we can talk frank and be honest. It ain't even, you know, and I'm not even going to say whorish. It's hurtful. That comes from a hurt place. That really does. That comes from a hurt place. But in the end, you end up looking like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's really where that comes from. But we got to really start to deal with our stuff and figure out, like, wait a minute. Is this going back to the people pleasing that we were just talking about? Or is your cup on empty? Are you worried about what people are thinking about you? Like, what are we doing? It does. Because here's the thing. Nobody said walking that walk is going to be easy. No, walking that walk ain't easy. It's not. But when you start to love on you and really, really, really deal with the stuff that's going on inside of you, that walk starts to become a little bit more joyful, babe. Because when somebody has truly found peace, and you really know what that peace feels like, shoot, feeling that peace, oh, you will be fighting them off tooth and nail. Get away from me if you're disturbing my peace. Get away from me, because you are comfortable. Because when you get to that point where you're comfortable in who you are, and you know what it is that you want out of life, you're confident in who you are, you got your stuff together, you don't want just anybody in your space. You can't afford for anybody to get in your space, because at that point, they can crumble everything that you have going on. So you, at that point, will be very, very, very selective of who you let in your life, and whether that be a relationship or a friendship. You start to be very selective, because you cannot afford for somebody to break down all the things that you fought to get. So yeah, you got to be careful when it comes to that. So although being alone can be tough, man, there's some peace in that. There is some peace in that. Again, but it takes really tapping into you. It really takes learning who you are, loving who you are, appreciating who you are, and being comfortable with who you are in order to get to that stage. This is why I talk about self-esteem so much. And I think people look at self-esteem like, oh, self-esteem, that's something we teach our kids. No. Yes, we do teach it to our kids, but wait a minute. As adults, let's start to talk about that some more, because we talk about self-esteem like it's just for the babies, but no, self-esteem is for the adults more than it is for the babies, because they're learning from us. So we got to make sure our self-esteem is intact, because we are teaching them what it looks like to love. We're teaching them what it looks like to love themselves, how to handle sad situations, difficult situations. Your self-esteem will affect the way you handle those type of things. And you got to be able to really show up. You got to be able to show up for yourself. You got to be able to show up for yourself. This is why I study self-esteem. front to back. This is another reason why I am in training to become a mental health therapist. This is why. Because we got to start to deal with that stuff that affect our self-esteem. We have to. We have to. So look, we on 50, we almost on an hour at this point. And I was like, I ain't gonna be before y'all long, but y'all got me talking today. So that's what it is though. But I really wanted to just kind of bring that forward and talk about it. Like I said, I have talked to women, some of my strong people, and all of us have admitted to we went through a rough season or going through a rough season. And we are the people who normally give to people, who normally pour into people. It's just been a rough season. But I just encourage you, and I want to tell you that it's just a season. It's just a season, and you're going to get through the season. And sometimes it's just helpful to know that you're not going through that season by yourself. You're not. I'm one of the strong ones, and I can tell you, I just got finished going through that season. I really did. You go through it. You don't stay in it. You go through it. So that's really where I'm encouraging y'all today. I love y'all, and I just want to make sure I just loved on y'all today. And gave you a little bit of me today. This is what we do every Monday. Mindset Monday. I'm about to close out, but this is what we do every Monday. Mindset Monday. We sit and we have a real conversation on what it is to take care of you, what it is to heal you, what it means to really just be a better you. It makes me happy to see to especially see our women thrive. I am a rooter, I am a cheerleader. I am for all things let women be great. I'm for it. And I know y'all might hear my son in the background, like up there talking and screaming. I don't know what it is about kids when they get put to bed. He is on 10 right now. Okay. But no, it makes me feel just absolute joy to see my girls step up and live their best life and not tear down other women while they at it, like really reach back and pull up another woman while you do it. I love it. And not be self-serving and just be loving. I hate that really in the media, Black women are always painted out to be catty and this and that. No, we some of the most loving people on this earth. We really are. We're passionate. We're nurturing. We love. And I love being around those type of women. I love to help those type of women. I love to uplift women. I love to empower women. Like, let's go. Let's say I do corporate training as well, so I can get my fellas in there too. But God put me on this earth and he gave me a superpower. And that superpower is to really push women and girls to greatness. And that's what I'm here to do, y'all. So with that being said, I make sure I let you guys know this every Monday. I am big on gratitude. I just gave away 3 of my gratitude journals at the conference that I was at, but I have a gratitude journal and it's called Goals, Grind, and Gratitude. And what it is a 90-day tool to usher you into the spirit of positive thinking and expressing gratitude. Let me tell y'all something about gratitude. When you express gratitude, it opens the door for you to receive more reasons to express gratitude. So basically, it's a spiritual thing. What you do is you express gratitude. So when you can show that you're thankful for the things that you have, now you can be a good steward and start to open the door for the things that you don't have, because you're saying, God, I appreciate this. Thank you. Or I'm going to take care of this. Even if it's the $100 in your bank account, you be a good steward toward that $100. Don't go out there and blow it. You need to be a good steward toward it, which means you need to take care of it. So when you take care of it, then you can open the door so more hundreds can flow through that door. You hear me? The other thing, have gratitude about your personal, where you are in your life right now. You might not be where you want to be, but when you express gratitude for where you are, you allow room for yourself to do what? Grow. Again, there's power in gratitude. There's power in gratitude. So I did write a gratitude journal. I just dropped the link for my people on TikTok, my gratitude journal. If you click on the link, you will be able to see it. Click on the link in my bio. My people on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, I just dropped the link in the comments, so you'll be able to see that as well. But guys, I would love for you to go ahead and get that pick up the gratitude journal and then give me feedback. I want to know, how is it helping you? But I created a gratitude journal. And one of the things that I had not been telling you guys about, but I want to remind you, on my website, on my homepage, I created a free download for you, and I want you to be able to have it. It's called Gym Goals. So it's a Gym Goals workbook. It stands for Growth Empowered Motivation. So what it is a download that helps you set forth your goals that you have. And it teaches you how to really mark down those goals and how to get them achieved. So if you have some goals that you're trying to achieve by the end of the year, or even if it's some that you want to set for the beginning of the year, that's a free download on my website, RashiaNicole.com. So if you go there, scroll down on the homepage, right before you get to the bottom, you'll see Gym Goals Workbook. It is there for you. Also in 2024, I am doing a masterclass starting in January. Now I'm doing 2 master classes. Okay. The first masterclass, it is for my younger generation, because I am used to, I have a mentoring program for teens. Michelle was in it. I got Rashana over here on TikTok. She was in it. So I will always create something for my youth. But it is called a foundations course. Okay. So in January, I'm doing a foundations course. And in that course, we're going to be talking about education, finances, all of those basic foundational things that you need as an adult. We'll be talking about those things in that foundation course. So if you go to my website, you just go to the shop and you'll be able to sign up for the foundations course. I am not taking a lot of people in that course, only a select few people I'm taking in that course. Same thing goes for the next course that I'm going to tell you about. It's called a Master Class. So Master Class stands for Healed, Empowered, and Renewed. I am going over healing, inner healing. Now, this is for anybody. You don't have to be young, but this one is for anybody. But we're talking about healing that inner child. You'll end up getting a healing journal. We're talking about imposter syndrome, positioning yourself First, we're talking about physical and mental health. We're going over finances. So we will do all of those things. And no matter which course you sign up for, you'll also end up with unlimited access to a platform that is just for people who sign up in master classes. And we will do one-on-ones, we will do mentoring and coaching, all wrapped up in one. That is another one where I am only taking a limited number of people. So I say all that to say, guys, that is all on my website, RashiaNicole.com. And even if I don't catch you on my masterclass, I better catch you next Monday for Mindset Monday. And I cannot wait to talk to y'all. Just thank y'all. Thank you for joining me, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye.